Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's the continuation of my Road to Tier 10 series up towards the Leopard 1. So in the last episode, which is a couple of weeks ago now, I got out of the Tier 6, the VK3001D, and I'm now into the VK3002D. Basically this package was free because of what I'd unlocked on the one before it, so instead of having the 7.5cm L48, well, KWK 40 L48, I've got the 7.5cm KWK 42 L70, and I've also got a bigger engine, so instead of 650, I think about 870, and I think this is the top gun that was on the tank before it. So hopefully, this time round, this sort of session, I'm going to get this upgrade pack, fingers crossed, to get the... Does it get me another engine? No, it just gets me the turret and some tracks and the radio, and then fingers crossed it'll knock it off there, so next time I might even be able to get the short 88 on it. So let's get into the replays and get to it. Right, so here we are for the first match now. With this one, because of how many games it's actually going to be to get the XP, you know, to sort of get the modules on this, we've got the packages, should I say. And to move on to the next one, I'm not going to show every game. In fact, I'm going to take the advice of one of you guys. And again, I do apologise, my memory is terrible due to the tablets I'm on. But you know who you are, and you suggested, you know, just showing a couple of games, some result screens, that sort of thing. And just a little bit at the beginning in the garage, just sort of showing which package I've got on and what I'm basically hoping to achieve. Now, I'm going to apologise now. If you hear any knocking or banging in the background, that is the pet rabbit, which some of you, most of you will know, I've not mentioned him for a while. But every now and again he likes to make his presence known by giving a little stamp or a knock on the floor. So, yeah, there you go. So, yeah, sorry about that. If we put him back in his hutch, he's even worse. So, yeah, we just have to put up with it. Now, this is the first match that I've actually played in this tank. Like I said, in the garage, it's not stock. I was able to put the first upgrade package on it for free because of obviously going through the tank before this, and that's why it basically looks almost identical to the VK3001D, because it, well, essentially is at this point, but just a tier higher. Now the thing with this one is that you've got this this L, I think it's 7.5cm L70 possibly, about 150 damage, sorry, no, 150 pen, 135 damage. Now, at the moment, with this turret, it's about 13.9 rounds a minute. With the next turret, it's 15 rounds a minute. Now, you get a choice of basically 3 guns as sort of this fully upgraded. You get the 10.5cm howitzer, which is probably not advisable on this. This gun, or the short 88. Now, the short 88 obviously has a drop-in rate of fire. I think it's about 9 rounds a minute, 9.5, something like that. But you do actually get a drop in pen as well to 145, but your damage goes up to 220, so I think that's probably worth it, and I would say that's the one I'm going to get on it. You know, I'd rather have a bit more bang for each shell that I fire, rather than that sort of the faster rate of fire and chipping away at them. I'd rather do it a bit more. But at the moment, I'm on this corner. Tier 7 match, did I say that? Quite favourable matchmaking, actually. Usually is for your sort of first round or two in a new tank. And managed to bounce a couple off the front. I can't remember if this has got slightly thicker frontal armour. I think it might have. I know the upgraded turret does get a lot better. This is 85. I think the upgraded one's about 120 on the front, something like that. And I think it gets a bit more on the side and rear as well. But with this one, those things that stick out on the side, whereas with the tank before this there was a small hole behind those, on this one basically there is nothing behind them, no armour whatsoever, and those things are very, very thin. So if you do get the opportunity to ever put an HE round through one of those, I would take it, because the other side of it is the engine and it is right next to an ammo rack as well. Now I did manage to take out the KV-85 by circling him. I don't think I got the KV-1S, did I? No. But I'm now sort of having a go at this VK3601H. Great little tank. Fantastic little tier 6 heavy. The baby tiger. And I am, well, fixating on him a little bit, sort of focusing on him a bit too much, and I'm not particularly paying attention to the map, and you'll probably just seen that heavy tank that appeared next to me, and yeah, that was the first thing I knew about it because I've not been paying attention. And yeah, got rammed in the side by the KV-1S. Did manage to get a shot in, but the 3601H finished me off. And in fact, that's definitely a tank that's on my sort of to buy back list. The 3601H. It is. I did really enjoy that tank the first time through, and I've not played it probably since maybe last April. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably last April, something like that. I think is when I got to it. So I've not been in it since. Since it's had the buff to the penetration on the short 88. I think it was something like 132 until they buffed it a few months back. But that one wasn't too bad a round. I did die a bit early on, but it wasn't too savage. It was a nice, decent. It was a fun round, to be honest. You know, I had fun in that, and I don't know what it is about this one. I really hated the tank before this, and I don't know. I've got into this one a bit more. It's been a bit up and down today, and one of the results screens you'll see is quite a poor round, and the rest, to be honest, are just pretty average. You know. I'm not going to say the great rounds, you know, they're alright results, you know, they're sort of pretty average results, I would say, but that's the thing with this gun, it is low damage, and anybody who's been through the Panther will understand that, because obviously the top gun on the Panther is the 7.5cm L100, the comedy gun, that really long 75mm. And even though it's got fantastic pen for a tier 7 medium at 198, the damage at 135 can be quite frustrating, because you can pen most of the things that you come up against, but it's just death of 1,000 cuts, especially when you're bottom tier as well. And so that's what it's kind of like with this one at the minute. So I think that's my only little gripe with this tank, is I would like to get the short 88 on it and get away from this gun. And I mean, like so in the last match, took a couple of bounces on the front, on the upper glacis, and the next turret, I'm not sure if it's the same shape as this one, but with 120mm on the front, that should be quite nice if I can get hull down anywhere, or maybe even use the gun depression. I don't know if the gun depression is not too bad in this. It's -8 degrees. So if that increases, or at least stays the same, I can't see it getting any better, but I can hopefully it'll stay the same with the next turret. Maybe even use it on the odd ridge line as well. Now I was just looking back there, because there was I don't know if it was a Comet or a Cromwell that just decided to try and push me for some reason. I was quite happy sat there, keeping an eye out, trying to spot and put shots in. Yeah, give me a push, and then shot near me, so I don't know, but just managed to take him out, and managing to get some shots into that easy 8 down there as well. Now I could have stayed behind that wreck and put the shots in at the easy 8 from up there, but what I wanted to do was to get down here. I know this building can be destroyed, but I wanted to try and get close enough to spot the guys across there that are putting shots in at us. The easy 8 spotted us. We were getting shot at from over on that side, and I think when I did the garage bit, I'd not got the coated optics on this, but I think I'd put them on for after the first match, and I've got situational awareness building up as well, and that should be done by the time I get into the Indian Panzer. That should be done, and hopefully the crew overtrained as well, fingers crossed. But yeah, I've put the coated optics on. It's got I think it's 370m view range at the moment, goes up to 380, so it's not too savage. Well, I say not too savage, that's sort of at the upper end of the tier 7 mediums. Now, I managed to spot, or somebody has anyway, managed to spot the Panther and the Hellcat. And there's another TD up there as well, and I'm just managing to get some shots in. I've not been spotted myself, which is nice, although keep an eye out on that TD and that KV3 that's up there as well. And there's a KV85 over there. I was going for the tracking shot. I didn't get him, but somebody else did. So I'll take advantage and put some shots in, and manage to take him out. Now, what else have we got? I've got to be careful, but hopefully I might be able to use this this river and use the embankments on either side to give myself just enough cover if I'm lucky, although something's looking at me, and yeah, take a hit. I'm not sure what. I thought it was from the Panther, but actually where the Panther is, I think it was more likely to be the Hellcat. In fact, there we go, another shot. Yeah, and it was the Hellcat. And I managed to get a shot in just as he's pulling back. In fact, this gun's basically behaved itself in this round. The accuracy is not too bad on it anyway, but sometimes it just doesn't behave. And managed to hit the Panther, but don't pen. Put a shot out with KV3, but I take a couple of bad ones in return, and I've got to try and pull back, get out of spotting range, and try and get into a bit of cover. And yeah, the embankment hasn't given me nearly as much cover as I was hoping it would. Now that was lucky. I think that went into my tracks. It must have done. Nope, that wasn't going to pen that KV2. Go for the weak spot on top, although somebody's just gone through our cap. And yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, we're making a fairly decent push across this way. Spotted these guys across there, but we sort of stalled almost. And you probably noticed at the beginning the spread wasn't particularly good. Most of the team started coming this way, and then some turned around to go back the other way. But the guys that went the other way haven't done particularly well, and we've kind of stalled up here. And that was me done. Was that the KV3 that took me out? I think it possibly was. Definitely sounds. Well, we'll have a look and see what he was in after that. But again, not a bad round. You know, enjoyable. And yeah, like I say, you know, this tank, I'm enjoying it more than I did the last one. Probably because it just seems to have that, even though it's probably, I think, about the same size engine, it just seems to have a bit more oomph to it and a bit more go. And I know that I'm going to get a different gun on it. I know that you know, that's not it. It's, you know, it's got other stuff to come here. It's got a better turret and a better gun. So yeah, it's not too bad. I think another gripe of mine about it, and this is just, I don't really like tanks like this anyway. They do tend to annoy me, are tanks where the hull traverse is a lot faster than the turret traverse. So when you're trying to turn your hull, your turret sort of goes with it and has to come back again. That just irritates me. Now these are just some of the results. Like I said, I've not shown all the results, and I'm not showing all the rounds. Just a few of the result screens, just to show you, well, to try and give you a bit more of an idea of what kind of day I've had in it. So, you know, it's been a bit up and down. Like I say, that match was terrible, and I had probably 2 or 3 like that actually, maybe even more. Normally tier 9 matches, I've got to admit, and I kind of don't know what to do with it in a tier 9 match at the moment. And generally just sort of relegate myself to doing a bit of spotting, and then later on trying to get around on the flanks and track and that sort of thing. But yeah, mostly it's sort of, I've averaged maybe 1300 to 1500 average damage. You saw that last one, that was 1900. And I think I had an 1800 damage match, which might be, I think there's one more result screen coming up after this possibly. I think they do, yeah, 2 replays, some results, this one, yeah, some one more sort of lot of results coming up after this. But yeah, had a few sort of alright matches in it, not as good as the first 2, and had a few bad matches in it, and it was sort of in a row. They weren't sort of broken up. You know, I had a decent match and then a bad match. It was, you know, I had a couple of decent matches, a couple of average matches, a couple of poor matches, and which you've just seen the results for. One of them with like 400 damage, and then had this match, and again, nothing outstanding. It was just a good fun match, and it was Again, it was just a bit of a turnaround. I'd had a streak of sort of 3 or 4 bad matches in a row, and just started to pick up with this one and then the next one as well. Now I managed to get a couple of shots in there, but that M7 has just seen me. Now keep an eye on that M7, we're going to see him a bit later on as well. In fact, he's, well, him and that huge 5-man TD platoon on the enemy team. You'll notice that's the matchmaking balance hard at work there. 6 TDs on one team, 1 on the other. But yeah, that TD platoon along with that M7 giving me a bit of grief throughout this match, from either, well, damaging me or just sort of pinning me in place. But like I said before, you know, it was a sort of a fun match, and there was at least one moment in it that was quite enjoyable and not too bad, and just made me think, you know what, I am just starting to get the hang of this tank now, and, you know, getting to grips with it. Just missed the M7 as he pulls back and take a hit from the steering wheel, and that damages my gun, and I really don't want an inaccurate gun at this stage in the game. Not this early on, where it can really affect sort of how much damage and XP I'm going to get throughout the game. But I'm going to try and pull across here a bit more, try and use these sand dunes, keep in cover, and there's a couple of Churchills up there. Churchill's looking at me, so I pull back, just angle my armour again, but he's been taken out, and then, yeah, take a bit of a slap to the side of the head from a T25/2. I think there's 2 of those, 2 steering wheels and an 88, I think it is. So I'm going to pull back into this hard cover behind these rocks and drop off radar and see what I can do from there. Now, possibly. That was going to be a mixture of possibly and probably. Possibly outspot the TDs unless they've got, you know, good crews in them, situational awareness, you know, maybe binocular telescopes. That I might not outspot them then. But no, now I've been seen. A couple of them have popped up though. Put a shot in, trying to get across here into a bit of cover, and yeah, lose quite a bit of health doing it. Now I'm going to reload. He was focusing on the guy next to me and managed to take him down. If I'd have had the upgraded turret, I might have taken him out just before he did that, and I might have had that heavy up here with me. But I've just seen one of the T25/2s coming around the other side of this rock. I'm going to take a shot at the steering wheel, but it was hasty and I missed. And here he is. I think I missed that one as well, but so did he, and they might be quite quick in a straight line, but they have a very slow turret traverse. Although having said that, he's only going to hit me once. I've got to hit him a few more times yet. So I'm going to use the wreck of my teammate. And he's starting to back off now. I'm probably thinking, shit, maybe wish I hadn't done that. But that was that moment where I thought, actually I think I'm getting to grips with this tank a bit more now. Now just pulling back. The other T25/2 I think is also coming to have a go, so I'm going to try and pull back, get over the sand dunes and get away, but unfortunately, yeah, the M7's here. And he did bounce, that one didn't though. And I've got to be careful, try and get my front armour towards him, so I'm going to use the handbrake. But no, rate of fire on those things is quite ridiculous if you've got the 6-pounder on it. And that's the last replay for you. There is a results screen though after this. Now I didn't unfortunately quite reach my goal of getting the first upgrade package. I think it's about 6,000 XP off, so I did get just over 20,000 on it today, but not quite enough, so I think that'll be for the next one. But yeah, I'm quite glad I've got back to the road to tier 10. It's had a break for a couple of weeks. But anyway, there you go. There's there's tonight's video, the road to tier 10. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you've hope it's kept you entertained for a short while, and I'll be back tomorrow with another video for you. So until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.